Hello, Teacher Laura here. I just wanted to share a bit about working with Outschool today. My focus is equipment. So I remember that when I first started teaching online about 3 years ago with VIP Kid, I wasn't really sure what to do or how to do it. I'm just entering my 3rd year here, so I have kind of played around a bit and I have figured out what works and what doesn't. So, trying to help save you some grief and some time with equipment. The first thing I would say is try to work with what you have at the moment. If you have just a standard run-of-the-mill computer, try to work with that. If you have issues as far as your camera and your video, I would strongly recommend getting an external camera. Unfortunately, most internal cameras, especially with just run-of-the-mill laptops, are just not enough. The picture's often a bit blurry, or just, let's just say in general, the quality is not as good. You'll have grainy video. I personally ended up buying one of these Logitech cameras, and I will put a link down in the description. I currently don't use this regularly now. This is like my backup for my other laptop. But if you have like a Toshiba or Dell or what have you, I would highly recommend this little camera here. The only thing I don't like is that it does not have a little window to open and close so that you can have some privacy if you don't want to be seen online just yet. But the quality of this camera is excellent. I would highly recommend this one. So try to use what you have. Check out your camera on your laptop first. If it's not good quality, I would strongly recommend getting an external camera. Okay, so that's for cameras. If you have a tablet, so such as an iPad, I have found that personally the camera on the iPad is excellent. I would strongly, highly recommend it. Just make sure that your internet is good enough to have a good quality image going between you and the students. Currently, I do use the latest MacBook Air. So this is the 2020, and I'm very, very pleased in general with the camera. I feel like the camera in this is a lot better than with a standard computer. I've used Toshiba, I've used a gamer computer. I really do prefer this, but that's my personal preference. You might think that this isn't as good as some of the others, but I really do like the camera in this. So that's for a good image. Let's talk a little bit about audio. So when I first started working online, one of the first things I heard was get a headset. And I agree with that 100%. It's good to have a headset so that you can hear your students clearly, and also so that they can hear you as well. So the first headset I got was not a very good one. It was just a standard headset with one of those little round plugs, just like what you stick in any kind of musical device that you're using. So I ended up, later, I got a Logitech headset, and I actually got this one at Walmart. I'll see if I can't find a link for this one as well. This one's okay. It's not my favorite, but it works in a pinch. The only thing that I would say that's a negative about this headset is that it uses a USB port. So you're a little bit limited as far as what devices you can use this with. You could not use this with a tablet, and also you would need an adapter if you use this with a MacBook. Like my new MacBook Air does not have the standard USB ports. You have to have an adapter for that. Just something to keep in mind. Right now, the headset that I actually use is this gamer's headset, and the model says it's Stinger Core. Again, I'll try to see if I can't find this online. This headset is about 2 years old, if I'm not mistaken. It's Kingston, a Kingston headset. Amazon, it works really well. I feel really good about it. It said online when I got it that this was noise canceling. For those of you who don't know what noise canceling is, there are essentially 2 types of noise canceling from what I understand. Noise canceling as far as what you hear, and noise canceling as far as the microphone. So if it's noise canceling as far as what you hear, that just means that when you put this headset on, you aren't going to hear so much of the outside world, and you're going to be able to focus on the people you're speaking with. If there's a noise canceling function with a microphone, the idea with that is that the people who are listening to you should not pick up as much background noise from your end of things. So if you've got someone walking in your house, kids, dog, in theory, it'll be a little bit better so that you won't hear that. However, when I've tried to record videos with this, I have found that it does pick up really small sounds, so I do need absolute silence wherever I am. I would call this noise canceling as far as the headphone, the hearing portion of this. But other than that, I would highly recommend getting this headset. It's a very good headset. So moving beyond that, in general, I would highly, highly recommend the MacBook. This is the first MacBook I've ever had, but I have used different computers with different programs such as Zoom, Skype. I've had Toshibas, I've had Acers, I've had a gaming computer, the Razer, I've tried that one as well. I'm extremely satisfied with this. That being said, I would not say that the others are necessarily a bad choice. I would just say that the latest MacBook works excellently with the Outschool Zoom program and just in general teaching online. So I would recommend getting a good piece of equipment. Make sure it is, if it's not something fancy like a MacBook, make sure it's at least up to date and has good technology so that there won't be lagging, there won't be any problems with any programs you have to download to teach, such as Zoom. And just make sure it's a good, newer model, have a headset. I would also recommend getting a wireless or Bluetooth mouse if you are using a laptop. At first, when I was using a laptop, I really didn't think that this was so necessary, but I feel like this really makes a difference. I mean, I like the touchpad okay, but there's just something about being able to grab the mouse. I feel like it just works better in general. I'm very happy with this mouse. This is another thing. I've got a lot of my stuff off of Amazon. The brand is Jellycomb. I will send a link down below in the description as well for this. But I'm very, very happy with this mouse. I've been using this for, I want to say 3 months now, and I haven't had any problems. You do have to have a battery for this. You might consider that a drawback, but I really don't think it's a drawback. This works really well. And this particular model, it can be Bluetooth or it can be USB. So you can use it either way, however you prefer. One other thing that I would recommend, if you use a tablet or if you use a cell phone, which hopefully you're not going to be using your cell phone to teach, that's definitely not ideal. But if you use a tablet or a cell phone, I would highly recommend using some kind of a base. And I'll show you the base that I have. I'm recording using my base. So this is another thing that I got off of Amazon. It's very sturdy. I have used this for a tablet, just like a standard iPad. And you can see it has 2 arms and you can stretch them out. And you can also twist this, like this whole part right here, this head, turns a good, I want to say, 360 degrees. And the base can be raised or lowered. Right now this is as low as it goes, but you can raise it up if you are wanting to stand and have this at your eye level. This is excellent. I would highly recommend it. The brand is Erbo. I got this off of Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description below as well. So those are just some basics you might want for your equipment. And one more thing, super important, lighting. This is like a pet peeve of mine since entering the world of teaching online. So as much as possible, you really don't need any shadows around you. You need to be well lit so that you don't scare your students and just so that everything is more visible and looks more professional. So in my case, I'm in a room that I have, fortunately, I've got 2 lights on either side of me. They're okay. They're not the best lights in the world, but they work okay. So to help have more illumination here, and it looks better when I'm working with a computer, I actually ended up buying a small lamp from Walmart. I did have problems with it being a little bit too strong, so this may seem really tacky and really weird, but what I did was I have a paper towel and I put it over the light. This is an LED light. It does not get very hot at all. I haven't had any issues, no fire hazard that I know of. So I covered this lamp with a paper towel, and I just put a rubber band around that, so I'm not taping it or gluing it or doing anything destructive to the lamp. This was like a $5 lamp from Walmart. You can find them easily, especially around school time, when everyone is going back to university or starting their studies. But you do need to be aware of how lit or not lit you are. For example, honestly, like the upper half of me is fairly well illuminated. I'm not very happy with how this lower half is. I feel like I could get rid of some shadows right here at this moment as I'm recording. So just be aware of what lighting you have. I know some teachers prefer those big ring lights that look kind of like photography lamps. You can get those online. There's some really big ones. I actually have 2 small ones that I've bought, one from Amazon again and one from Walmart. And they're about this size. They're made more for like your cell phone for making selfies, taking selfies. But I do like to have those just in case. I always try to keep them charged up just in case there's an emergency and I lose my power. And my TA is itching right now. I'll talk another day about my TA. I've got a Chihuahua who's my teacher's assistant. So yeah, that's a little bit about the equipment that you might want to invest in if you're going to teach online, specifically if you're going to teach on Outschool. Please let me know if you have any questions about working with Outschool. I'd be more than happy to refer you if you're interested in teaching. The process is pretty straightforward, and if you have experience teaching, it will be pretty easy. If you've never tried online before, there is a bit of a learning curve, but I would strongly recommend it. I feel that I can 110% back up this company, which I have not been able to say in the past about other companies I've worked with. Maybe that'll be another topic for another video. But yeah, I'd strongly recommend it. And if you want to join on Outschool, I have my referral link down in the description below. And if you want to have communication with me, I'm more than happy to, no charge. Just shoot me an email. Again, I'll have my Outschool email down in the description below. Thank you so much for listening and happy teaching.